Hello, this is Rick. I'm the main game master for the Hammer of the Gods podcast, and also I write for Even Footing Games. And so I came up with the idea to do a solo version of Babies and Broadswords here recently, and that's what I'm going to be playing today. This is the very first playtest. Because it is a first playthrough, it's very possible the mechanics, rules, things like that, that you see in this playthrough will not make it into the final game if I need to cut things or reword them, whatever. So just keep that in mind. And tentatively, we are calling this One Baby, One Broadsword because it is based on the Babies and Broadsword system. Today, I'm going to be playing Bob, the Barbabian, who is the cousin of Barb the Barbarian, who is a character I played several times on the first two Elder Scrolls games on the Even Footing Games streams. And just to kind of keep her spirit alive, I decided, why not? So I went ahead and I picked my big three. I went with a 5 in adventurousness, a 3 in cuteness, and a 2 in precociousness. And then I rolled for my misfortunes. So my ouchies are 9, my grumps are a 7, my tummy aches are a 5. I'm going to go with the 8 on nopes instead of the normal 10 for new players because I have played this before quite a few times. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So kind of the setup for this is you are a solo baby adventurer. You're exploring the dungeons below the orphanage, Lady Chastity's home for unwanted children, and other errors in judgment. And so Bob the Barbabian is going to start off on his adventure. So we're going to first, and even though I wrote this, I don't have it all memorized yet, so bear with me if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading my own notes. Okay, so it's not really required, like this is a pretty loose structure, but it is meant to be sort of a dungeon crawl, just to see how far you can make it without having to go to some kind of break. Gives you a lot of free reign to kind of create your own monsters from our prompts. But with that loose structure, I like to start off, I'm going to start off with the travel between rooms. So I got a 1, which means I come across another baby. And then the prompts ask, what are they doing? Are you friends, rivals, or are they a stranger to you? I'm going to say, you know what? We run into Barb the Barbarian, who is a big kid. She's a couple years older than Bob. And she's just off on her own adventure, doing her thing. She's got a nice toy hammer, kind of like the play school style where, you know, it's totally made out of like rubber. It's basically like a wiffle ball bat, more or less, just in the shape of a hammer. So that is making my way through a hallway to the first room of the dungeon. And so most of this game is going to be some kind of D6 roll or drawing a card from a standard deck of cards. So our first card is the 5 of clubs. And so clubs are creatures much bigger than you. They have a 5 in adventurousness, a 2 in cuteness, a 3 in precociousness, and 5. The prompt is, it's alive. Whatever this creature is, it appears to be a member of the undead, a Dracula impersonator, spooky skeletons, or something else. Roll for nopes instead of fighting, and run. So, you roll for nopes by rolling 2d6, comparing it to your max nopes, which I got a 10, and when you compare that, that is 2 above, so I'm going to take 2 off of my total nopes, so I went from 8 to 6. So yeah, I run away in fear, not because I, was being smart. I was just scared and didn't want to pee in my diaper. At least not yet. It's a little early for that. So that is room number 1. Running away very not bravely. And you know what? I didn't say what kind of creature this is. I'm going to say since it's a creature much larger than me because of the clubs. I'm going to say it was like a mummy. Just covered in toilet paper. And it's very obviously toilet paper, but a baby wouldn't know the difference between a real mummy and a toilet paper mummy. So, still pretty scary. Alright, and so our second card is the 3 of clubs. So, hopefully we don't get too many clubs in a row. Alright, so again, clubs are creatures much bigger than you. And 3, the prompt is, has to pee. This creature clearly needs to use the potty soon. If you make water sounds, you can scare it off if you beat it at an opposed precociousness roll. So, this one's kind of nice because you don't have to fight it. You could if you wanted to, but I'm going to try, even though precociousness is my worst ability. So, we're going to roll for me, and we're going to roll for this large creature that has to pee. Because there's not as much of a detailed prompt, I'm going to say this is a grown-up. It's one of the, support staff type people who just seems to have gotten lost here in the basement, the dungeons, and really has to pee. And so Bob, being the very sweet baby that he is, loses at the precociousness roll. Because I got a 1 on the dice and have 2, and this grown-up got a 2 on the dice and they have a 3. So, you win some, lose some. But yeah, Bob making like water sound, like doesn't do anything. This grown-up is really upset, and so because they have adventurousness as their highest, how combat works in this is you also roll opposed, but the attacker, if they have higher, then they deal however much more damage than what the defender got. If the defender rolls higher, then no damage is done, but if it's a tie, the attacker always does 1 point of damage. So, okay. I did lose that, only by 1, because we both have a 5 in adventurousness. I got a 5, they got a 6. So, I'm going to take 1 point of ouchie damage as this grown-up, let's see, adventurousness. I'm going to say this grown-up is kind of a bully. They just start making fun of Bob, saying that he's gonna get lost down here and nobody's gonna come looking for him, and that ouchies his feelings a little bit, hurts the fifis. All right, so Bob is going to again attempt to whoosh his way through this. Oof. Okay. Again, he loses his precociousness. We both got 3s, but because they have 1 point higher, they still beat me on that. And this grown-up is just a jerk. They're gonna bully a baby. Ooh, that's gonna hurt. Let's see, so 7, I got 7, they got 11, so yeah, I'm gonna take 4 to my ouchies. I might go to nap time real soon, actually. So this is good that we're doing this playtest. Okay, after that grown-up is a jerk, we're gonna try one more time. Precociousness. There we go. So I got a 7, they got a 5. So this adult finally has enough of Bob's wishing noises, and they run off to go find the nearest potty. And that was rough. Bob's not having a great time. But on that note, we're gonna move on to our next one, which is the 4 of Spades. So, let's see, spades are creatures that are scary or gross. They have a 3 in adventurousness, 2 in cuteness, 5 in precociousness, and you roll against your nopes. And 4, what a bore. This monstrosity is absolutely the worst thing to a baby. Boring. If you take damage from it, you can take 1 point of ouchies in addition to any other damage dealt. Yikes. Okay. Yeah, and their precociousness is 5, so me having low precociousness, this could go really badly. Okay. So, one thing that I haven't mentioned so far is baby adventurers always go first. So, and when I say baby adventurers, I mean whoever the solo player is. Even if you're going up against a baby, then you don't have to figure out. There's no initiative. You always go first. And actually, boring and spades are scary or gross. I'm gonna say, I'm gonna say this is a weird kid. Maybe even like a cultist. Actually, no. This is a PI. So if you're familiar with the full game of Babies and Broadswords, they do have classes, much like other TTRPGs tend to do. This one doesn't, because it's just simpler, and it's meant to be more of like a fun solo game, less of like classes and that sort of stuff. But the PI is from our Crawl of Cthulhu module, and it is P like urine P. Yeah, so this is I'm gonna say they're a really smelly kid. They do smell like pee. Just like this guy thing, baby. You can't actually see their face because they have a trench coat on, like a tan trench coat, and they've got a fedora, but it seems to cover their face. All you can see is 2 like yellowy glowing eyes and shadows. So they're a little bit creepy, pretty gross. Let's see. So you know what, I'm gonna first roll against my nopes. Yikes, 8, and my max is now 6, so I'm gonna take another 2. Oof. Okay. And then I get to go first. Let's see. And I'm going to use my adventurousness because that is my best ability. I wouldn't know, but you know, because this is a solo game, there's no GM, no setter. I can see all their stats, so you know, I have a little bit of an advantage on this. Their adventurousness being a 3 does give me a little bit of an advantage. Okay, so I got a 9, and they also got a 9, but because I'm the attacker, still do 1 point of damage. And let's see. So, one thing is that I need to denote this in here. Whatever their ability score is also what their misfortune score is. They don't get any additional to it like the baby adventurer does. So, having taken 1 point of ouchies, this PI only has 2 more that they can take before they gotta go to nappy time. So, they are going to attempt, let's see, they're very precocious. I am not. Ooh, okay, we both got 3s again. Theirs is a lot higher though, so I'm gonna take some tummy aches from this gross guy. Let's see, so that is 8 for them and 4 for me. Yikes, that's most of my tummy aches. In one go. Bob might be out pretty soon. Okay, back to Bob's turn, and their precociousness. I'm gonna say that kind of what the PI does is they like are saying that they know stuff about Bob, like they know what he's scared of, and they're just kind of like making fun of him for that. And so Bob's gonna come back with his adventurousness, and oh heck yeah, I got a 6, they got a 1, so they have 3, 4, but I have 5, it's 11. Yeah, so that pretty soundly defeats this PI as I pummel them with my words. I'm going to say that I finished them off. Barb the Barbarian carries a toy hammer, like a war hammer basically, but a toy version. Bob, on the other hand, is more of a club kind of guy, so he's got the regular, just like wiffle ball bat. What he has done though is he's got some of those like toy plastic screws like you would have on like a toy construction set, and he's got those through the end of his bat, Negan style from The Walking Dead. And it's all still plastic, so like it doesn't really hurt. Just kind of hurts your feelings a little bit, kind of insulting. So as Bob is like talking about how much braver he is than this PI, and the PI is like running off, upset, he just kind of gives him a whack on the back with his wiffle ball bat. And that is another enemy successfully defeated. And it's been a little bit, so I'm gonna roll another travel between rooms. Even though, I've been traveling between rooms, it is an optional thing, which you do not have to do, but I want to mix it up a little bit. So this time I got a 3, which is you make up a game to play while traveling to help pass the time. What are the rules like, and does anyone else play with you? I'm going to say no. Nobody else plays with me. It's just Bob. But he finds a hopscotch. Whatever. I don't actually know what it's called. But he finds like somebody's drawn a hopscotch thing. And so he finds a rock, like tosses it out there, and he does the whole hopscotch thing. And that's what he does to kind of pass the time in between rooms. And then I'm going to do, I'll say one more room. And this time, got the 3 of diamonds. So, diamonds are creatures smaller than you. They have a 3 in adventurousness, a 5 in cuteness, a 2 in precociousness. And 3 again has to pee. I'm gonna say this creature. I'm gonna say that this is a blink kitty. Creature from the first Babies and Broadswords book. And yeah, it clearly, like, it needs to find a kitty box, litter box, real bad. And so I'm going to attempt, even though it's probably a mistake because it's very precocious, I'm going to attempt to out-precocious it. Oh wait, it's not very precocious, just kidding. We're equally bad at that. Ooh, and I got a 6, it got a 2. Yeah, no, I easily, just like making whooshing sounds again, just whoosh, whoosh. And this blink kitty really, really needs to go. So, yeah, Bob's on a roll here. He's doing pretty decent. And since that went pretty quickly, I'm gonna do another one. We'll see. We'll see. Ooh, okay. Got the Ace of Spades. And so, spades are creatures that are scary or gross. Again, adventurousness 3, cuteness 2, precociousness 5, and you roll against your nose. And the ace. The prompt is the Ace of Spades, or whatever. This creature is extra scary and does 1 point of notes damage in addition to any other type. But if you block its attack, it does no damage. So, this one might be the one that finally takes me out. Because my nopes are pretty low. That's what we're going to start with. I like to start with the nopes first. So, oof. Yeah, it's going to take me out. So my max is 4, and I got 10. So, Bob is going to end his adventure here as he runs off with warm yellow liquid running down his leg, right out his diaper, as he runs in fear from, let's see, this creature's extra scary. It's a spade. Yeah, they're scary or gross. Ooh, I'm gonna say he comes across a toilet monster. And it's just like a mass of poo and tentacles, and yeah, it's pretty scary. So, as he wets himself and runs in fear, that's what did him in. So, anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this playtest, and I'll probably be doing some more, at least 1 or 2 more. So, anyway, enjoy, and hopefully you'll check out One Baby, One Broadsword when it comes out.